after underwhelming results at the 4K video playback test, I will look now how well the RK3588s performs in emulation. And I will start with easy to emulation consoles and go up to the harder one. And the first one I rarely see in emulation test videos is the C64 Mayhem in Monsterland. And I can say already, you can see 50 frames. Nowadays a potato can emulate the C64, and the same is here. It runs fine. I guess it runs at 50 frames. Maybe I have the European ROM. I think I got the European ROM. One thing I have to say, I emulate the C64 here on RetroArch, and every game on RetroArch I have here runs in the native resolution because I have no idea how to bump up the resolution. Next game I test, or the next console, is a Master System, Asterix and the Rescues. Master System, as you see, I forgot to put on the frame counter, but Master System is similar to this, it's not really similar to the C64, but it's similar, easy. Everything can emulate the C64, same does the Rock 5A with the RK3588, and it runs really fine. Ignore my bad gameplay, just see how beautiful it runs at the native Master System resolution. And as a Master System was my first console back then, when I was a child, I have very nice memories playing with it, so I had to play another game. The Ottifants, based on a German cartoon, Saturday morning cartoon, and the game runs fine, it runs as it should, and it looks beautiful. I like Master System. I grew up with it, it's my first console, later I got the Game Boy and then Mega Drive and so on. However, it runs fine. Controller, I play with the Xbox 360 controller, USB connected, you can see it on the left. But again, I forgot the frame counter to turn on. So, the last Master System game, Psycho Fox. I never had it when I was a child back then, but I like the graphic. His long arm looks a little weird, and... Whoa. Moment. Ignore that. Second try. I can do it better. It has a quite weird... jumping physics, and as you see the run, it stops immediately. Okay, and yeah. One more. I can do it. I can do it. Just kick away those shell things. Let's go to the next game. Sega Master System. Sega Genesis Teenage Mutant Turtle in Hyperstone Heist. This is all, so like I said already, native resolution of the game. All the settings are as they are from RetroArch. I did not make any settings about improvement or something. And it runs fine. I had this game back then. I have to look, maybe I still have it, maybe not, I'm not sure. It's not matter, but only what matters is the emulation results, and it emulates fine. And again, I forgot the frame counter. Don't hate on me. I love this game. Next game, Sega Mega Drive again, Virtua Racing. The first and only game with the Sega VP chip, and it's run on Retro Arch again. I played it back then on the original hardware, and I remember I didn't like it. Now for some reason I like it better. I think it looks amazing. It plays amazing. Emulation is top notch. Maybe if I would figure out how to bump up the resolution a little, maybe look a little more better. But back then when this released, it was mind blowing. Never seen something like that. Flat shaded polygons on a Mega Drive or Genesis as you call it in the United States. It's nice and it plays beautifully. And I don't remember it was that good for playing. Maybe after back then I had an aftermarket control, but maybe it was not that good. However, Bloody Roar 2 on the PlayStation. You see, I'm going up with the difficulty of the game consoles to emulate even the PlayStation. The original PlayStation is not that difficult to emulate too. Also on RetroArch on the native resolution. And it plays beautiful. I mean, I'm not good for playing this, but for original PlayStation 1 game, it looks beautiful. I have to admit, I was back then a Sega Saturn guy, but it looks really nice and it plays good. I have to admit that too. It plays good. It's super fluent. Oh, I'm a good fighting game player. I'm just a button masher. If it's for fighting games, don't expect any. So, Crash Bandicoot! A game I never played before. I know it, of course. I saw the character. I think he's funny, but I never played it. See, it's this time I was thinking about turning on the frame counter. It's 60 frames, super fluent. It plays little. That's not my gameplay. I'm honest. I have some Psycho Fox vibes here now. Okay, second try. Getting better. Yeah. I cannot. Maybe I shouldn't have destroyed the box before. However, I don't like these pits here. Let's go, next console, Sega Dreamcast. On RetroArch, Dynamite Cop. And you see here already on the selection screen, well, the emulation is not that fine. I'm not sure if it's because of I think it's this Flycast I used. It runs okay. Here and there some slowdowns, but I would consider it that playable. It's native resolution of the Dreamcast. Till today it looks beautiful. Till today I see there's some, but I think it's because of it's not the fault of the Rock 5A, but of the emulation core here and there. But it plays beautifully. Let's try some native Android app. This is a Flycast app, and we have a quick look at the resolution. I did bump it up to 1600 by 1200 just to have some Full HD like vibes. You can see this 1260 by 90, but I wanted a high resolution because I want to see it. Look, we have the Vulkan shader on, maybe if you see it. And let's have a look at Sega Rally 2. Gives them driver sweet name. And here we go. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I have to figure out first how to get the... Okay, this was brake. Ah, here we go. It's a beautiful game. It's a 1600 by 1200. It looks beautiful. It runs super fine. On the bottom left, you see 30 frames. I think 30 frames was what is intended to run at. I'm not sure if it was a 60 frame game. However, for me 30 frames is more than fine, especially with this high resolution. And I have to say, I tried Dreamcast on RetroArch 2, and it looks on the native app from Flycast runs much better. Even you have here those funny emulation glitches, but you see it's 60 frames, at least for the intro. And 60, 45, 60, it's okay. 60 frames, and as you can see, the emulation, it's also on 1600 by 1200 resolution. It seems the native Flycast Android app has a better emulation than the Flycast core in RetroArch. It's just my opinion. And it looks beautiful. And this high resolution. In my opinion, always go for the native app. Never try those. I mean, not want to say. So, Acer SX2 for the PlayStation 2 emulation. Let's have a quick look first at the settings. I tried it before I start filming, and I have to say... Moment. I have the FPS counter is on. Let's look for the other things. So... on the speed control more down. I have no idea what the other things is. Enable frame limiter. I have the frame limiter on, and I played on the native resolution. Because before I go to 2 times or 2.25 multiplier, and it was totally crap. It was unplayable. Vulkan shaders. And there... see driver infos. This one is everything. The other settings are all as they come after installed the Acer SX2. I did not make anything because I have no idea what it makes, what effect it will have on the emulation. Here I kept everything as it was by default after I installed the app. So let's go for God of War 2. As you figure out now already, we have 45 with no 40 frames on the upper right corner, 44, 45 frames. But the sound is a little... well... they're talking like chipmunks, so... at least for this part... I would go for the frame limiter because then the voices of the actors not sound like chipmunks. That makes sense. So let's look for the game. And you see 50 frames. If it's a real European, it's the native resolution. Native resolution. The native frame rate for the European version. And it is okay. You see it is moving something between 45 and 50 frames. Maybe sometimes 52. Yeah. I have no idea how stable God of War did run on the PlayStation 2 because I was a Dreamcast guy. I did not have the PlayStation 2. Let's have a look if I disable the frame limit. Maybe it will show the... oh, here 163 frames. That looks promising. And yeah, it not makes any difference in the gameplay itself if I enable or disable the frame limiter. Even I would say 49 frames. I think I was more stable on the 50 with the frame limiter enabled. Let's go back to the frame limiter. And try 1.5. It looks immediately more pleasant to the eye. But you see, we now go down to 30 and barely hit the 50 frames. I mean 39 barely hits the 50 frames. So 1.5 upscaling. It's still playable if you consider playing at 30 frames. Then it's totally fine. You see it looks immediately better. Not so pixelated like before. But overall, I would say PlayStation 2 emulation, maybe it's the wrong emulator I use, maybe SX2, maybe there's a better emulator out there, maybe not. I hate QuickTime events. Shadow of the Colossus is the next PlayStation 2 game. Enable the frame limit and get down to the native resolution. Okay, the intro is already struggling. 27, 22 frames. But that not looks that... No, that not looks that good. ...20 frames. I mean, you can play with 20 frames, but I don't think that's the way how it should be. So Shadow of the Colossus is... Let's have a look if we deactivate the frame limiter, if the frames will go up. Oh yeah, 40 frames. Oh, not bad. Around 10 frames more. 35 to 40. At least outside, on the horse, riding in the sunset. I have no idea what I'm doing here in this game. This shows me the way where to go, but that is not my game. I'm out here. Dolphin Emulator. That is the last console we try. See, for the graphic settings, we get the OpenGL, we go for the Vulkan backend, look for the enhancements, the resolution, go for 1080p of course, because I want to run my games at 1080p, I don't go lower than that, except for the PlayStation 2, because then it was also resolution did not run really. And let's see, Luigi's Mansion. Oh, you see the frame counter on the top right, 50 frames. It looks good. Smooth 30 frames. There's Luigi. This is Lightner. And his map to his mansion. And welcoming lightnings. Whoa! There's something not right with the Lightner. It's a flashlight. Lightner. It's a flashlight. Let's see. Maybe I have to change. If we change it to OpenGL. That looks nice. That looks nice. And it runs at smooth 30 frames. I'm surprised the Dreamcast. The GameCube, or let's say Dolphin emulator runs better than PlayStation 2. But who cares? Also there I have no experience with... And that's not true, I had a GameCube. I mean, I had a GameCube, but I did not have Luigi's Mansion. Don't know why. But I know I can experience it on the Rock 5A with the RK3588s. The every door is locked. What is I'm supposed to do? Look at his nose! Wiggledy, wiggledy, wiggledy. 26 frames. I mean, if you don't have the frame counter on, I think between 26 and 30 frames. Nah. 15 frames. Maybe that is a little low. There's a ghost. So that was it. You can see from C64 up to GameCube, it emulates. The games are running. C64 Master System, Mega Drive Genesis running totally fine. PlayStation 1 and Dreamcast. Dreamcast with native app, not using RetroArch, runs also totally fine. After that, PlayStation 2, maybe I choose the wrong games, but yeah. But on the other hand, GameCube runs fine. Fine enough, let's say that. Thanks for watching.
Tinkering without thinking is 10 only, 10 only, 10 only, 10 only. Set yourself free, no matter what you come up with. Maybe scrap more than succeed, but in the